and welcome to Gameplay Junkies episode 4. I am, of course, Benny Mac. Joining me on screen is the co-host of this show, which is over 2 years old now, which we just discovered literally before we came on air. Jack.
Hello.
V, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Thanks.
Good. Obviously, this is the first time we are actually live on SGP Raw Media for Gameplay Junkies, even though this is episode 4. You may have heard the audio version, you may not have done. It depends if you're a gamer, I guess. If you like games, like we do. But yeah, we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Twitch as well, and then we're on delay, obviously, for the podcast version on SGP World Media now. So, welcome back to the show, basically. Did you like the intro, Jack?
Yes, I did. At first, I only saw it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, it's good. I like it.
Mate, it's the first time we're on the as in us together on the network for this show, so I thought, we've got to have a new looking intro. To be honest, the one we've had for a while is more of a stopgap anyway, wasn't it? So
yeah.
But yeah, I wanted something sort of retro-y, which is because we don't always talk retro games, but we are. I'm old enough for the retro games. You're not so much, I guess. I don't know. What was your N64? N64 era?
Nintendo 64. Thinking about it was the first, and then PlayStation 2. N64, PlayStation 2. So yeah. N64 Mario Kart was the first sort of things I was playing.
Oh, there you go. Okay, cool. That's right. One of my games I want to mention today is actually from the N64 era. So yeah, you would have played that, I would assume then. But yeah, we're going to be chatting a little bit of some news. It's quite quiet at the moment, I think, because we are a week away from. I forgot what it's called. Is it Bethesda Zone? I forgot what it's called. Or is it?
We've got the Xbox Showcase next weekend.
That's it. Yeah.
There's also Apple's developers thing tomorrow as well, isn't there?
Mate, we'll have to look at that. Right? But I mean, this show at the moment, I'm going to say this right now. This show is going to be on here every 2 weeks on a Sunday, 5:30. So every other. But as I'm saying that, we are actually going to be here next week as well because of the showcase. So because that's more of a special thing. But that's not necessarily going to be a podcast as such. That's more of a watch along and reaction to. So it's not really a podcast next week. So in terms of podcast form, yes, we won't be here next Sunday, but we'll be here the following. But if you want to join us next week, what time's it on, mate? Over here, I can't look.
6 p.m. our time.
So instead of 5:30 next week.
Well, there's 2. So you've got the actual Xbox Showcase, which is at 6, and I believe that's an hour. Then straight after is the Starfield solo event. So we'll be on for both of that.
Yeah,
so it's going to be a long one.
Yeah, so we'll be on we might jump on about 5:45, but say it's about 6 p.m. onwards.
Yeah.
We'll, although I haven't cleared this with Mr. SGP himself yet, but I'm sure it'll be fine. But, it won't be a podcast next week, but we will be hopefully, on here as per usual. Because, as I said, I'm getting more muddled up here, Jack. Basically, the podcast every 2 weeks, but because there's a special event going on next week, we're going to be watching along the Xbox Showcase, what's going to be coming out, and obviously Starfield is huge. We've talked about it on this show in Season 2 already several times, to be fair, one of which didn't see the light of day because of the because of the errors we had. Another reason we're over here on SGP, mate, basically. So I see people are filtering in slowly, so hopefully we're doing all right. We haven't really started yet as such, but yeah, we'll be here next week from about 6 p.m. then, yeah? Is that the idea?
That's it. Okay. Well, it'll have to be just before when it read, so we're ready for when it starts.
Oh, okay. So about 5:45 then, UK time we'll be here.
Yeah.
And we'll, again, like I said, no podcast next week, but we will be reacting to the stuff that's going on, basically, which is going to be... Well, mate, Starfield's freaking... We've already talked about it, so I don't want to go harp on about it too much, but obviously it's going to be a big-ass game. If it delivers what we seem like it will deliver.
That's it. It depends on if it lives up to the hype. I hope it does. I really hope it does.
I don't think it will, but part of me wishes that this game was going to be multiplayer. I know there's a big market for single-player games, and I get it, but I do like playing cooperatively with people. Like I said to you the other week, even if that game was just co-op, as in only two, you and a mate could do it, I'd be happy with that. I'd be absolutely ecstatic with that, with the base build and everything that's going on. But, mate, we'll get into that more next week, I think, to be fair. Yeah, well, this piece of news came out, I think, literally, I don't know when did I send you it? Yesterday, isn't it? I think it came out a day or so ago.
Yeah.
NVIDIA Ace Well, so you're using the NVIDIA background, ironically. I don't know, are we sponsored by them? I don't.
So the camera software I use that controls my camera and my mic is NVIDIA Broadcast.
Okay. I forgot about that. Mine's not.
Back there. No, yours is actual physical background, isn't it? If I remember rightly.
Mine is, yeah. I can touch mine. No, I can't. No, yes, it is.
I can touch mine. Look.
Yeah, apart from your hand disappears.
My hand just vanishes.
It's all good, man. It's all good. But yeah, what was it unrecorded as well?
Yeah,
we're going to talk about these because these things kind of go hand in hand. But NVIDIA, we're going to show the video for those people watching. But it's virtual characters with generative AI. So, I mean, I can't what they're using, mate. So I did read it, but I've forgotten because I've been so busy setting this up. But the whole bloody you being able to talk to a AI character and then it responds by itself was really random. But we're going to show the video now.
We are thrilled to showcase an immersive and dynamic interaction between a player Kai and a non-playable character named Jin. This captivating ramen shop scene was created by NVIDIA using the latest RTX rendering technologies. NVIDIA collaborated with Convey, an NVIDIA Inception partner, to showcase how developers will soon be able to use NVIDIA Riva, Nemo, and Audio to Face for AI-powered speech, conversation, and animation. These models were integrated into the Convey Services platform and fed into Unreal Engine 5 and MetaHuman to bring Jin to life. Please take a look.
This Unreal 5 engine's just fantastic.
It's insane, isn't it, mate? To be honest, it really is. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've seen this already, but...
Hey, Jin. How are you?
Unfortunately, not so good.
How come?
I am worried about the crime around here. It's gotten bad lately. My ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Can I help?
If you want to do something about this, I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city. He may be the root of this violence.
I'll talk to him. Where can I find him?
I have heard he hangs out in the underground fight clubs on the city's east
So,
side.
Is this completely unscripted?
Alleged. Well, in terms of obviously, it's to show what it looks like. Do you remember that Project Milo or whatever it was? Remember that when they tried to do that with the Kinect cam?
So, like, so there's obviously, is there a story driven this? So you go in there, you ask these questions because you need to progress the next part, or is that he's just gone in there, decided to randomly ask
have a conversation? Yeah,
and this is how it's naturally developed. Because if that's the case, then that's fantastic.
Good afternoon, Si, on the chat. Thank you very much. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, but so by what I understand, obviously this is one of those things where they do the showcasing, isn't it? So it's going to be somewhat like scripted in that sense, but they're trying to portray it like, I believe this is meant to be a side mission, Jack, as well.
Oh,
so it's not necessarily a let me just bring it back up, but so it's meant to be a side mission basically. So he allegedly the human player, as in you, are asking these questions, and that, as you can tell by the response, though.
Okay, I'll go.
So that's the human player.
Yeah.
Be careful, Kai.
If you go back a bit, let's. So I'll say it now for the people listening on the podcast, so they can just. So, who's who, basically. That lighting is amazing.
Hey, Jin. How are you?
So that's the human player.
Unfortunately, not so good.
How come?
I am worried about the crime around here.
So I'm worried about the crime rate. It does seem very wooden.
So by the fact that on the left-hand side of the screen here, on the video we're watching, it pops up with a little microphone.
Yes, yeah.
That, to me, would indicate then that they are saying that.
To me, yes, but I mean, it could be like a predetermined thing that your character might say. But
then why would the microphone pop up?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. If we,
It's gotten bad lately. My ramen shop got caught in the crossfire.
Can I help?
If you want to do
For
something
me, that's
about
the player
this,
talking.
I have heard rumors that the powerful crime lord Kuman Aoki is causing all sorts of chaos in the city. He may be the root of this violence.
To be
I'll talk
honest,
him.
the
Where can I
best
find him?
way to showcase this would be to have some completely random person try it. So
Yeah, basically,
like, and throw stuff out there that would not, because that's like, it sounds very wooden, like you said. The conversation,
yeah.
it's not like natural. So but if that is what it is, so you go in and you speak and they will respond to whatever you're saying, then that's a massive step forward.
I would assume that it's some sort of set, like, things that you can say and you can't say and all that kind of stuff, because there's no way that you...
But then again, if it's AI driven, it should be able to respond.
Yeah, there is that.
Depends
yeah,
on
so
if that's what they're trying to showcase, then...
it's supposed to be... I think it might be more of like a procedurally thing, like where... Because like when you play single-player games or even games that have NPCs in it, sometimes they only repeat the same script, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So... But then, so I don't know, mate. It's all brand new. The graphics look freaking insane. This Unreal 5 engine is
the Unreal 5
be
is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic engine.
My concern with all this at the moment, as a console player, yes, I'm a PC player, but as we were talking off air, even with our current PCs, which are, less than a year old, maybe even less than that, to be fair.
Yeah, less than a year.
Are not gonna run that, to be fair, not easily. And, how does this play into streaming games as well? Because that's going to need a lot of bandwidth to do that, man.
I suppose it's going to be more the internet connection, because if you follow the cloud gaming space, then if it's all moving to cloud-based gaming, it's not going to be necessarily the hardware we're using. It's going to be the internet connection.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, very true. It just looked bloody insane. What I could gather from it is that you can approach it, but like you, watching that video with the microphone pop up, mate, I am very much in favour of that's the human, me or you, going, "Hi, how are you?" to a computer player.
Yeah.
And it uses like the chat GBT or whatever how they're using to. Obviously, but then my brother was saying that, like, obviously we have games that they procedurally generate missions as well. So this isn't new, but this for the NPC to be talking back in a particular way to you.
Yeah.
Into games like Mass Effect would be absolutely insane in terms of what its potential.
Definitely.
So
definitely.
Obviously, it's all early days. Where I know already before the engines even come out, or we've seen anything on it, and we haven't seen anything on this engine yet, have we? To be fair, in fairness,
only that brief like showcase game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was it Superman or something?
No, didn't they do one for Matrix as well?
Oh, that's it, Matrix, not
Matrix,
Superman.
yeah. But on top of that, let's move on to this, mate, because we'll show this trailer now. I honestly, I'm not going to say anything. I want to see if anybody in the chat can tell, sort of like, just what their responses are to this, basically. So, unrecorded official gameplay trailer, which we're going to show now. This came out a month ago, I want to say,
something like that.
So let me just do that, and then there we go. Let me turn the volume up. I mean, I've probably given it away by the fact that I put gameplay trailer there, but still. Turn that down a bit. But there,
it's based.
Go on.
Yeah, it's based as a body cam footage game, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
But I don't know whether I when I first saw this, mate, I think we said off air, but like until that bit came up with the 525 of the mag, which we just saw him reloading.
I thought it was a video.
I thought this was a video as well, and I was wondering whether it was like one of those ones where it is video footage, but you have something one of those games where you would like a Heavy Rain or even the new Star Trek game that come out. You have moments where you've got to hit a direction, left, right, up, down, or whatever, or A, B, or whatever, to do something. But the fact this is a video game is like, it's bloody insane, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
The blood splatter on the wall from the guy you just shot. It's like that's crazy.
That was a drone, apparently, flying at him there. It's crazy, mate, isn't it? It really is crazy. Like, because we've been doing airsoft lately. I honestly thought this was an airsoft footage or something.
Yeah.
Going on at first. Then I realised that we need to see close-ups of these gameplay characters that are in it, like to see whether I'm trying to pause it in the right place. Like that's not the best pause, and so I can't. It's bloody insane, mate. That's all I'm going to say on that one. It's I mean, what are your thoughts on it? Because I genuinely thought this was a bloody real video, like a real.
Is it?
I'm so confused by it.
It looks like video footage. See
it does.
I can find.
There you go. See, even here, look.
Where the fuck is Oscar?
Then it explodes, and then that's kind of it, really. So, yeah, I think it plays hand in hand to what we just talked about with the Nvidia stuff, obviously. Games just get a bit.
It's Unreal 5.
It is an Unreal 5 as well.
It's Unreal
okay,
5
there you
engine.
Go, then.
It's. I'm just reading on here now. It's Unreal 5. So,
it's mate. How a console's going to live? They're going to have to make. This is going to be. I haven't looked. I should look. Unreal 5 engine. Has it come out with any sort of release date yet? It's very much a prototype, isn't it? As far as I'm concerned at the moment.
I thought it was out.
Oh, is it? So game developers might start be using it, and hence why they're
formally launched for developers in April 5th, 2022. So it's out, but obviously you got to build a game on it, haven't you?
So you're going to probably wait another year before we see anything come out on it. Then maybe even 2 years for big AAA companies to be doing. It's bloody insane, mate. I don't understand how they can how my brain.
So I'm just reading something about it here. So the game, although realism is an integral part of the game, it's not intended to be a simulation game. Players will assume the role of a tactical police officer, viewed primarily through the perspective of the character's body-worn camera.
That's gonna be weird to aim the gun and stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like, based on that video footage we just saw, it looks like there's going to be any sort of cursors either. Like I said to you, the only reason I knew it was a game at one point was the bit where he's putting the clip in, it says 5 or 25 or whatever was left in the clip, and then the explosion at the end. Now, whether that was added in post or not, I don't know. But I honestly thought it was one of those games that was real, like, sort of video footage, and then you just pick what happens, if that makes sense. But, mate...
Within a week of its announcement, it was wish listed by more than 600,000 people on Steam, and it hasn't even got a release date.
It's crazy, isn't it? It really is crazy that the whole blimmin' thing is like just blown up that much, to be fair. But adding a bit, they want to add more life to these VR characters and stuff, obviously. But you know, we're seeing that now. But I tell you what, mate, the graphics of this game.
And actually, so just on a side note, just reading here, the reactions to the trailer, obviously, that we just saw, people were accusing the company of just overlaying actual footage and it not being real.
That's what I mean. It's so hard to tell, mate, with that other footage that we saw.
It's apparently been independently verified by IGN.
Has it really?
Yeah, independently verified that the gameplay trailer is real by downloading the same Unreal Engine 5 level assets used in it.
It's insane, mate. It really is insane.
If this is where games are going, you ain't going to be able to tell the difference between a game and real life.
No. But then having said that,
really
like, you talking about getting it verified, they had to get somebody to verify No Man's Sky, even though that doesn't look anything like what we just saw. But the procedurally generated universe that it had was so big, people thought they were faking it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Basically, and it's all procedure generated. Man, so what's gaming going to look like in the next? Let's be realistic here. 3 years, 4 years,
Mate,
maybe.
To be honest, to see mass games at that level, I reckon 10 to 15.
You reckon?
Yeah.
This is what I also wonder, whether the whole streaming aspect of gaming could handle that. But then again, like you said earlier, it's just going to be down to
Thing is, though, by the
internet.
time we get there, computer technology will have jumped, wouldn't it? 10 years down the line. As I said with the comment there about VR has come a long way. It's right, completely right. VR,
Liam
you
Powell,
think what
thank you
was
very much.
VR 10 years ago
Yeah,
compared to
well,
VR
mate,
now?
you use that Unreal 5 engine along with that's the VR, which is what Liam just said in the chat.
Yeah,
there.
if you could put enough hardware into the VR setup to run Unreal 5,
mate,
a game like that,
mate,
you're going to think you're actually running around doing it. It's fucking real life.
I was about to say, you're a Star Trek fan. That is probably the closest we'll get to a holodeck, mate. The way it's going,
it's absolutely fantastic. That graphics is just phenomenal. And
the console, well, Xbox especially, and Play, well, all the consoles are going to have to step their shit up if they want to be able to run that.
You imagine playing Red Dead 2 in that graphics level.
Red Dead 2 is
that's
like,
a fantastic looking game.
That's a fantastic game. Yeah, well,
and it was however many years old, but
yeah,
like imagine playing that at that graphics level, or imagine
insane,
playing a game like Starfield, or if you could get into a game that's as photorealistic as that could take you into any universe, that you wanted to play in.
It's insane, man. It's insane. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. Obviously, those are the two biggest things for me, I think, that have come out this week in sense of like what's going on in terms of like, because at the moment I've seen a lot of footage of the Unreal 5 engine, and all, do you know what I mean? So it's just it's Liam in the chat again. Even games without VR look too realistic now. It's insane how it's come from 2D blocks to realism games. Yeah, you're right, Liam, 100%. We'll ask you a question in a sec, chat, as well, because we're going from the highest of high graphics and your first pick of the day. So what we've done is we thought we'd do for the SJP viewers, for our first time, we appreciate you tuning in and dropping by and everything. We really do. For Gameplay Junkies, as I said, we're going to be here next week for the
live show,
the events. But in terms of a podcast, we won't be back until the week after because it's going to be every 2 weeks. But because there's something going on, we are going to be reacting to it live. So if you want to join us next week, Liam and Sai and whoever else in the chat, stop by about 6 p.m. UK time, and we'll watch it together, basically. Especially
hopefully
Starfield,
we'll have
mate.
good reactions.
Hopefully so, mate. We'll talk about it. Are they shown right after each other? Or is
yes,
there be a gap?
it's straight after. So as soon as the Xbox showcase ends, then it will go on to.
It should be one stream then, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm getting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, we're going to watch it live and react to it. It's not going to be a podcast. It's just going to be an SJP sort of like reaction thing from us, basically. I'm looking for. Yeah, Liam's looking for. Yeah, stop by, Liam. Come and chat.
I am.
With us
I'm looking forward to it. In fairness,
100%. Come and stop by about 6 p.m. next week, guys, and Liam, obviously, and everybody else in the chat. Pop by and we'll talk about it there and then as we go. Your comments will be brilliant as well as we're talking. We can see what you think of it. You might like
to see everyone's reactions to it. In fairness, because obviously what might look good to us might look crap to someone else.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Well, speaking of that, and so yeah, for the SGP viewers and listeners, I mean, obviously we are on SGP, obviously, but we thought we've done a couple of episodes now. And you might not necessarily know myself in terms of gaming, and you're definitely not going to know Jack on SJP unless you listen to the podcast. So now these aren't we're doing Jack's fave games and BenNy's fave games, and they're not like our top 3 of all time. But we just thought we'd do 3 off the top of our head, and we might do this again in a couple of weeks' time, mate, as well. Maybe keep introducing a game, not 3. We'll do 3 this time. Maybe pick a game either we've been playing or we really like. But you went with Let me get to the banners, mate. You went for this one, believe it or not. So we've gone from the graphics of NVIDIA and all this to... We are going back a fair few years now, in fairness. But we are going to be talking a little bit. So this is Jack's first one for you, ladies and gents. Jack's fave games, PUBG Battlegrounds. You may have heard him talk about this before on other shows, to be fair. But
I actually had a look the other day. I'm trying to remember what it was. So I'm gonna have a double check now. How many hours I actually put into this game.
Okay.
I used to play it, or when it first came out, on it constantly.
Yeah.
On it constantly. And well, you played with us as well, didn't you? And
yeah.
At the
not
time,
as much as you.
It was great. Obviously, you look back at it now and you think, bloody hell, look at the graphics.
Mate, we've just gone from NVIDIA to Unreal 5 engine to looking back at PUBG, and I mean, I think it still looks all right, to be fair, but it's not always about graphics. It's not always about graphics.
It is annoying when the houses didn't load.
Yes, yeah.
That could
marshmallow
get you
houses.
after you've run around and you got the marshmallow houses. But for what it was did we figure it out the other day that it was the second battle royale out? Because Fortnite picked it by a few months, didn't it?
Yeah, we always thought this was first and Fortnite was after. No, it was the other way around, so we were wrong by that. I mean, you've picked this as one of your obviously the 3 this week. You've picked this as one of your favorite games.
My favorites.
So
I like the concept. It was what got me into battle royales.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've tried playing Fortnite, couldn't play it, couldn't get on with it. And
I think a lot of people are put off by the building aspect of it, to be fair.
And just the sheer amount of time that I put into this game was stupid.
You were in duos, weren't you, with your mate? You were up quite high in the rankings, if I remember right.
Oh yeah, we were. I can't remember. We were stupidly high up there on duos. But again, we did put so much time into it.
Yeah.
So I'll try to see if I can see how long I actually put in here.
It doesn't necessarily. Might be too sad to realize the fact, mate. To be honest, I don't know whether you want to reveal that information. Is what I'm getting at. To be honest, with you.
It could only go. Could only be that some certain level of badness, can't it? I think I looked at it and it was something like 20 days
wow.
worth of play time.
I'd probably put that into COD 4, mate, to be fair. It wouldn't surprise me if I'd done that back in the
day. And I was like, geez, how many bloody things did I sit there and play that for?
But did you play it on PC as well, or did you just go on console?
So I briefly played it on PC, not very much, and then obviously went to console with it. And that's when we all got to play it, because another friend of ours, it was hilarious, wasn't it? Because every time he did it, every time he played, he'd get frustrated because he'd run around looting and then get killed.
Yeah, he wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, we know exactly who that is. He's never been on this show, but yeah, he's you're the looter, you're the serial looter of these types of games. We've always having to say, "Come on, Jack, come on." Although you have got better lately, I will give you that. But back then on PUBG, you were absolutely a bloody nightmare. Jack, the gas is coming. Yeah, I'll just get this gun. Jack, the gas comes. Anybody got this? No, Jack, we're leaving. No, I want to get this. No, it's like, all right, we're going. And after a while, he's like, just leave him to it.
I always appeared at the end.
You conveniently stayed away from fights. That's all I will say. I don't know how you're in the top.
How did
10.
I get that well rated if I avoided the fights?
Because you just hung about till the end. You're like, not that you'll know this reference, but you're like Edge from WWE. You're the oh God, I've forgotten. There's me making the comparison. I forgot. Optimistic.
It's not gone well for you,
opportunist is what I'm getting at. You wait till you pick your moment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing in those types of games. I'm not going to lie. All right, go on then. Fondest memory of the game, mate. Go on before we move on to my first one.
Fondest memory of the game. Oh, first, what was it? Winner, chicken dinner.
Well, yeah, there you go. Just when you won the game, winner, chicken dinner.
When I killed someone with a pan.
Yeah. Liam's calling you a poacher, and I agree with that 100%.
See, well, next time I won't save you.
Yeah. And to be fair, what one little thing I always remember from PUBG was the pan, as you rightly said,
completely bulletproof plan.
But they coded it wrong. They made it so it was completely bulletproof. Pan.
Was it like you had 3 levels of armor, didn't you? The level 1, 2, and 3.
That's it.
And the level 3 was like, but the pan was like level 10 or something like that. The pan was just indestructible.
Yeah, man. I had some fun on it. I got frustrated with it, like because you guys were on Xbox One X. No,
One.
that's what we're on now. Xbox One, and I had the one prior, I think, so we could play. We could still play together, but mine wasn't. But the loading time, your loading time was better, or your like. So,
you had the one. I had the One X.
That's it. There we go. So, but yeah, when you'd land and there'd be marshmallow houses, and you couldn't do anything. You had to wait for the bloody thing. So that's my only gripe about it. But I had some good matches on there with you.
Have you seen this comment from Liam? He's put Fortnite. Why would he put Fortnite?
Well, I was about to go to there anyway, so yeah, we'll go on there. Liam, so his top 3 for him: Guitar Hero 3. I don't think I played Guitar Hero 3. I worked at Game when Guitar Hero came out, the very first one, and the shop was dead, right? And me and a lad called Danny were working, and it was absolutely dead. And so the old one in Gloucester, mate, where it used to be by HMV.
Yeah,
if you remember that. For those people who aren't from there, but they used to be by HMV, basically. I love working there. One of my favourite jobs ever. But we didn't have anything to do. We'd done everything in store. We couldn't do anything. We put all the POS out, so we got the Guitar Hero out, and we set the guitar up. We thought we'll have a go on it. We started playing it in store, and then people were walking past, and then he went, "What's that then?" And we had about 5 in stock, and we sold like 3 within like 20 minutes of just doing that. We weren't trying to sell it. We were just like, we have nothing else to do, so let's do that.
Well, just to answer Liam's question quickly, yes, the plan was bulletproof, and when you used to equip it to your belt, and if you ever got shot in the back, if they hit the pan, it would completely block.
Yes,
you just hear the ping of the bullet.
Yeah, you're right.
And
absolutely
one
right.
of the things you could unlock was a paint for the pan, and it was a target.
That's it. Yeah,
on the back of the pan.
That was the only thing I ever
on the
got.
back of the pan. And the pan was just the ultimate weapon. To be knocked over the head and killed by the pan was just the worst death imaginable.
He'd walk up to me and go, "Dum dum."
Yeah, just dum.
I remember the fucking pan, man. He's also said Apex Legends. I haven't played much of Apex Legends, in fairness.
I haven't. I've played a little bit, not a lot.
And then Fortnite, I have done a few, but yeah, I've not put that much time into it, to be fair.
The building broke me.
I think that's the problem with a lot of it. But I think, didn't they? Liam might be able to correct me on this, but recently, I want to say, they released a game mode where it was just fighting. There was no building allowed in it. So, you know, I never really built. I mean, occasionally, I might put a wooden plank in front of me to try and block to build cover, but rarely. You know, I only played it maybe 5 or 6 times, to be fair.
Maybe that's just because we're old and we can't multitask.
Well, mate, trying to hit, just let me shoot people. I don't want.
You see,
if I want to build
these people
stuff,
on there build like massive towers in seconds. Like, how have you done that?
They just practice it, mate. They just practice and practice and practice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's no building. You get extra 50 shields. So there you go. There is a game mode in there. Is that still active, Liam? I believe it is. But no, yeah. Chat along, ladies and gents. But yeah, no, it was. No, I understand why you liked it. It was you know, you put a lot of time into it. To be fair, it was. I don't dislike the game, but once Modern Warfare came out with the battle royale, and it just felt a lot more. It was just a lot more intuitive, I think, to be honest. Apparently, yes, it is on there still, and it is one of the most popular modes in the game now.
Oh,
so
that's good.
There you go, in terms of the building stuff. So cheers, Liam. Thank you for that.
Well, something you found out the other day was that there was a COD battle royale before the Warzone.
Yes, yeah, there was, wasn't
Blackout.
There? So they tried to do. Yeah, I didn't even know that existed. To be fair, we were, because that's when we were looking at talking about PUBG and Fortnite and what came first. We didn't know, and it turns out Fortnite did by mere
months, wasn't it? A few months here and there.
But yeah,
the COD Blackout mode was there. It wasn't very good, but obviously it led the way for Warzone. Yeah,
definitely, man. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, because that's Jack's one of Jack's fave games there. Because like I said, we let the people, you know, get to know us a little bit in terms of our game types. One of mine is this, man. Command and Conquer. The whole series in general for me is just a trip down memory lane. In particular, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike it. There are a few I dislike, but in the early days, Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, was this Blackout's popularity did not last long. Nor did the game itself. I think PUBG was just too good at the time, to be honest, and Fortnite as well. So it just didn't do it. It looked really. It almost looked like a mobile game, didn't it? When we were looking
And
at
it was quite a clunky engine, if I remember.
Yes, it looked
rightly.
it. I never
Like,
played it.
Very
but
clunky
did look
engine
it,
to
yeah.
it.
But yeah, one of my favorites of all series of all time is not Diablo, which has just come up on screen there. Although it's not a bad thing. Obviously, I'm using the footage from YouTube. But Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, mate, is one of the games I probably played a hell of a lot of.
See, I have played it, but do you know what my biggest gripe with it is?
What, Red Alert 2?
You played any
the
of the Command and Conquer games.
Okay, go on.
Is the fact that you cannot build where you want to build. You've got to build so close to another building. But I will just point out that I have come from Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Playing.
I was going to say, mate. To be fair, one thing I said to you, didn't I? We've been playing Age of Empires quite a lot in the last. Well, not so much now, but about a month or so ago, there was a lot of us playing Age of Empires 2, the remastered. Is it remastered on the Xbox?
Yeah, there's 20 odd different editions of it these days.
Yeah, but the one that came out on Game Pass anyway, and yeah, I love the fact you can build literally anywhere. Yes, you are restricted, even though this is more likely a bloody mission thing going on here. So that's what it looks like. It. The way to do it in Command and Conquer, unfortunately, was to build silos, is what we used to do.
Yeah.
And build, and then build what we wanted, then get rid of the silos and build from there. So it's not impossible. Or you could build yourself another MCV, which is the mobile base basically that you unfold, and you could build this one here just below me. Not that you can see my map, so I point over here. You can't see it. Okay, but yeah, it's there, just there below me now. But yeah, I've got so many memories of the Command and Conquer series as a whole. Red Alert 2 I loved, by the way.
Yeah.
It was one I played on my laptop. Loads, mate. Do you remember when you used to buy those games where it was like sold it games? They were like really popular games, and then they re-released them for like really cheap. And it was like in these cases. I don't know if I've got one near me to grab, but basically they were like. It was like classic games that would come out, like Theme Hospital or Theme Park, and they'd do like a sold it thing in game, and it was the re-release of the game basically, but just a lot cheaper to capitalize on its popularity. But I like I said, I personally freaking loved it. The actors that made appearances in these series is absolutely ridiculous over the years. It's just, but the memories, mate, I've got. This is way before internet for me.
Yeah.
Let me just bring that up. There you go. So this is some of the FMV sequences that you'd have. You might recognise that actor right there. You might not. You might recognise.
Yeah.
You might recognise a few of these others. But memory-wise, like playing the very first lot of Command and Conquer, I had a Sega Saturn, mate.
So was this for a trailer?
This is the actual in-game footage now. And this is for Red Alert 2, and this is the president being informed that the Russians are coming, basically, and they're going to take over the US. Depending on which disc you put in, you played Allies or the Soviets, basically.
Yeah.
In Red Alert 2, the story is in Red Alert 2 that Einstein went back in time and basically killed Hitler. But because he killed Hitler... Stalin rose to power, and then Russia became swallowed up the entire part of the world, basically, to a degree. Not much unlike what's kind of going on now, to a degree, I guess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you might recognise the actor behind here. This is Yuri behind him. He was actually what was he in? Was he in Blade, or was he in what was that film Arnie did? End of Days or whatever it was. No, mate, but you might recognise that fella there. He was in there.
I do recognise him.
The guy behind you can't see yet because the other guy's talking. But yeah, you had all these things. Then you had the Tiberian series, which is different to what this is. That's more about a meteor that hit the Earth, and it's got this mineral in it, and it grows really quickly, but it's toxic, but it's really valuable in its power and blah blah blah. But mate, I discovered this game on Sega Saturn, mate. Even though it was a PC game, I had a Sega Saturn. Everybody else had PlayStations at the time. I had a Sega Saturn. Went to the local video store, grabbed a copy of this game called Command and Conquer. I looked on the back of it. I thought, this looks really cool. Got tanks and Humvees on it and stuff like that. I was like, wait, this looks cool. I get it. Got it back, played it, loved it. Playing that type of game with the joypad for the first time was a bit weird because even more so now, I prefer to play on keyboard and mouse with RTSs. There are exceptions to that. I'm sorry I'm boring you. There are exceptions to that. Halo Wars is a really good game for console. I think it's really the way you play
any RTS like that,
you're
I
not
use
really
keyboard and mouse.
You're not really well. You are an RTS person, but you not many, I suppose. But basically, I remember waking up the next day and I played the GDI disc, and I put the disc in what I assumed. I said, "Oh, they've given me 2 discs by accident. Oh well, not my problem. I'm going to play it over the weekend and be done with it. Take it back on the Sunday night." Turns out, Command & Conquer has 2 campaigns, one of which is GDI, and one's not. And I didn't know. And then from that point on, I think I ended up getting the game about 2 weeks later, actually buying it because I loved it that much.
Yeah.
Played the hell out of it back in the day. Then started high school. Then mates were on PlayStation. I had a PlayStation. Then basically, long story short, 2 PlayStations connected together, 2 TVs facing opposite way of each other. One sat over there, one sat here, playing against each other on Command & Conquer, or teaming up, as maybe. So, because we are way off, like, in terms of me and consoles online, well, I'm not nowhere near that yet. I mean, I don't get online until 2002. When Xbox Live launches, pretty much. So
same with me. Same.
But yeah, one of my favorite games, mate. I would say I'm not going to say it's in my top. I would say Command and Conquer franchise as a whole, not all of them, but most of them. I would say one of them is going to be in my top 10 games of all time. Definitely 100% with that, mate. So you chose. Technically, you're cheating here because you chose essentially 3 games in one.
Yes, but it's not cheating. I choose the remastered Mass Effect trilogy that come out a couple of years back. I played all the originals, but I replayed the entire trilogy when it was remastered and come out. And that's it, the Legendary Edition. I played it solidly for about a week, 1 all the way through to 3, and loved it just as much. To me, and this is a very controversial comment here that's going to be made, this has a better story than Halo.
Mate, I can't really. I think I've got to give it to Mass Effect. Mate, you ask me tomorrow, I might say Halo because they are bloody. In terms
they
of
are both good franchises.
Yeah, 100%.
But to me, the Mass Effect story, as I said, I went through all 3 games one after another, whereas Halo, it doesn't catch me.
I think if I had to sit here right now and choose which should be made into a film series, if they could make them, Mass Effect for me is the one I would like to see. That
would be
not to diss the Halo series that came out. I quite like that. It's a different way of going with it as well. They have to, though, don't they? As much, I get it, but like, I understand why people got pissed off with that. But in order for Chief to convey any emotion, you need to see his face.
What about the Mandalorian?
I've not seen the Mandalorian, so I can't really question that.
He only takes his helmet off like a couple of times in 3 seasons.
Okay, but I understand where you're coming from, and I agree to a degree because, like, Halo Master Chief never takes his helmet off. We never know what he really looks like.
It's part of the mystery of it.
But the story they're telling in the series is, yes, it's got Halo and all this other stuff, but it's different, mate. It's not spot on. Yes, you got the weapons and the armor and all that kind of. I like the guy who's playing Chief. To be fair, I don't think I'd ever seen him in anything else, or if I have, I don't remember. But the story they're telling, in order for the emotion to come out, that with his backstory, unfortunately, yes, I think they could have waited maybe 3 episodes before he took his helmet off, not straight away. But in order to tell the story they're trying to tell, he has to, so we can see his face. Otherwise he's too stoic.
Yeah.
Having said that, it would have been cool if he didn't as well. So I'm not against it. I understand why people are annoyed by it, but if you take the story for what it is in the series, you've got to do it in order to have this, emotional. Because essentially, he's like a scared little boy in some cases, isn't he? Because he obviously was because we're still having that story of them being taken when they were children in that series. So, but yeah, that's not what we're talking about. But yeah, Mass Effect, mate. Again,
Liam's just made a good comment there, and I think he's 100% right in what he said there.
Yeah, you're right there, mate. Yeah. It's more like they're using the name of the brand to make some more money. It seems like, yeah. I can't argue with that. To be honest, it's all about money, mate. At the end of the day, to be honest. But go on then.
But yeah,
back onto Mass Effect. That's a different podcast in itself, mate. Halo
franchise. As I said, the story I found was fantastic, and I like the fact that you can carry a character through all 3 games.
Yeah,
and
100%.
I also like the fact that decisions you make affect the game.
100%, mate. There should be more of this. I don't understand why this hasn't been a.
And like the fact that you got to pick your own ending at the end, choose from what you did. I really enjoyed the game. Really enjoyed it.
It makes it, to a degree, it makes it somewhat unique for you. To a degree, you know, because I play a certain way and you play a certain way. I mean, we'll go with this. Who's one of your favorite characters from that franchise, Mass Effect trilogy?
My favorite characters.
Who do you like? Or okay, another way of putting it: did you try and cure the genophage, or did you like whatever?
I cured it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
because I felt bad for I felt bad for the Krogans, basically.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Who did you kill? Or who did you let die? What were their names?
Ashley and
Ashley and
my first ever playthrough, Caden. So Ashley survived initially. This time around playing Legendary Edition, I don't remember doing it, but apparently Caden's still alive, so I must have let Ashley die at some point. But then I had the romantic relationship with Liara this time round. So
okay,
because my first playthrough, I went with Ashley basically, and then Miranda, I think.
Yeah.
Which actually, by the way, is I've been watching Chuck.
Yeah.
And the actress who did her voice, Miranda from Cerberus, is the woman in Chuck, the blonde woman. That's her.
Oh,
I've forgotten her name, but
yes,
I've been watching Chuck recently because I've never watched it, so I was like, oh, this is. I'm enjoying it so far. So like, but yeah. What about you?
Yeah, no, Mass Effect. That trilogy is.
It's brilliant.
In the top,
trilogy, mate, to be fair.
I'd say it's in the top 5. My top 5 games.
I've not played it yet, so I can't really I can't really give any insight to it. But I know you, Andromeda. Are you a yay or a nay?
I played it. I bought it when it came out, expecting good things. Played a few hours, never touched it again for 4 years. Recently went back and completed it.
Yeah,
but I think it was more the fact that I was used to the story and the characters from the first.
Yeah.
And but it was when I replayed it, I enjoyed it, and I wouldn't have completed it if I didn't. The new one that's coming out, they announced another one, didn't they?
Yes,
I'm looking forward to that. I think it's still a few years away, but I am really looking forward to that. But anyone that hasn't played the Legendary Edition, the remastered one, honestly, if you've never played Mass Effect, or even if you have, go back and play it. Honestly,
if you've never played the Mass Effect franchise, I would definitely go with the Legendary Edition. Yes, I think it's about £70 still, might be about 65 now.
Is it not Game Pass?
I don't know, actually. That's a good shout. It might very well be Game Pass. It's EA, isn't it? It might be Game Pass now.
I'm sure it's Game Pass. Sure it's Game Pass.
If it's not, eventually I would assume it will be, because it is an EA game, ultimately. It started off with BioWare, didn't it? But it ended up becoming an EA game. But, yeah, man, it's a great pick, mate, to be fair. I think it's definitely one of the games that I go back to. And I'm actually currently playing number 3 on that trilogy as well, to be fair. So
I can install it on the PC Game Pass, and I'm pretty sure it's on the Xbox Game Pass as well.
Oh, there you go. Yes, there you go. Then, if you've got a Game Pass, you're on Xbox or PC, give it a go.
Yeah.
Honestly, good role-playing game. You can make your character male or female, what you want it to, what he or she looks like, and then, as we've already said, Jack said was that whatever decisions you make in number 1 affect the characters and maybe way people treat you in number 2.
Yeah, you carry your character with you through all 3 games.
Yeah, and I love that.
So yeah,
I absolutely love that. To be fair,
definitely.
And then your shepherd is going to look different to my shepherd.
Yeah.
And depending on how you play, the way I play those games, I just react to the people how I feel in the moment. I guess like you would with real people.
Yeah, exactly. My decisions are based on what's going on in that game at the time.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I know I'm not going to give it away, but it's a bloody great game. I've not played Andromeda enough to, or even actually at all, really, to give any sort of feedback on it. I know it was met with mixed reviews. My outside looking in, I don't think the complaints were about gameplay, was it? I think it was more. I think people wanted more Shepard.
Yeah,
and I think
but
that's
obviously
what we got.
it was based in a different galaxy, and Shepard.
Yeah.
It. As I said, when it came out, did not like it. Replaying it 4 years down the line, I enjoyed it.
I think it was too close to, and I would assume there was about a 2-year gap, but it's almost like with the Halo franchises we mentioned at the beginning of this segment, was that I love the trilogy of Halo, which is now the Master Chief Collection, but Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 2 and 3 were like, we had to wait so long for 3 years, I think it was. Because in the way Halo 2 ended, with Chief on board High Charity, and Hood going, Master Chief, can you tell me what you're doing on that ship? And he goes, sir, finishing this fight, and it just ended there, and we had to wait 3 years for the conclusion.
See, the best way I could describe it then would be, using Halo as an analogy, would be, imagine if the last Halo game was the last one, and then the next one they bring out is not Chief as the character. Chief's not in it.
Yeah,
right?
But even
so,
go on.
He is the definition of Halo. Chief is Halo. Halo is Chief. That is it. So imagine now you've got some random ass character that you don't know.
You're attached to them.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. No,
that's the best way I could describe it.
So maybe me not playing Andromeda straight away is probably going to be a good thing. So when I do finally get around to playing it, even though I'm in the midst of playing the trilogy again, to then move on to 4, but maybe doing that is, I will see. But I understand it's no different from a TV show or a film series. You're attached to certain characters, and if they go, Marvel's a good example, Iron Man and stuff like that. A good 10-year run of all those. It's, as much as I've enjoyed the newer films, it's still not quite the same yet for me.
Yeah,
you're
right.
So, but that's because of like who.
And that's it. With Liam Sturt loses sentimental value, 100%.
Yeah, you're right, Liam. 100%. Yeah. And I think sometimes you need space from the stories, and I believe again off a bit of a rant here, but like I still believe this to this day that I loved Enterprise. You got me onto it, but I loved it. It was a series. It was bloody brilliant. But you literally had Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, and then right after that you had Enterprise. We just had 3 series of brilliant TV Star Trek series and all these characters. They didn't let it breathe, I think, for it to be missed.
Yeah.
And it, using on to maybe on a different level, just so we're on everybody's. It's like when Channel 4 sold Big Brother. Not that I'm a Big Brother fan or anything, but they went, "Oh, this is the last one ever." It'd been going for 10 years, I think, and everybody's like really upset and blah blah blah. And it was, oh my god, it was such a ride and all this stuff. And then Channel 5 bought the rights and did one the year after. Why not let it breathe? Why not give it chance to be missed? And that's the same with, no matter what TV show it is, or game series it is, or books or whatever. I genuinely believe letting it settle before you bring it back.
See, actually, I've just thought of another example. Think about Captain America.
Yeah.
And the latest series where they brought that new guy in and tried dressing him up as...
Oh, that was horrible.
Captain America. And you're just going, nah, this is just cringy. Like, why are you doing it? Like, make a new character.
Yeah.
If you've ended that character's story, don't mess. And when it ended on a good ending like it did, don't mess it up again.
No, I agree, 100%, mate. To be fair, well, let's move on. We get caught on this bloody conversation all day long, couldn't we? To be honest, but I think as Liam said it, you got to let it breathe, though. You've got to let it bloody breathe, man. So we'll move on to mine then. Quick. This is going way back now, mate. To be fair, this is I don't know whether you ever played
What
on
is
a
this,
PS1.
Metal Gear Solid?
This is Metal Gear Solid. You are 100% correct.
Oh, this is 1. No, was 5 the last one to come out?
I have no idea, mate. I fell out of love with the series after I went back and played. I played 2 and I played 3, but 3's a prequel to this, and it just got a bit confusing. Then
5,
Metal Gear,
I think, was the last one I played.
Metal Gear
And it was
Rising.
alright.
Metal Gear Rising came out, and it was nothing like this. This was a tactical espionage game, and to be fair, to this day, this is one of those games that the narrative's in it, and there's so many characters and stuff. This is one of the first games I ever played that had a story-based game, you know, and had a narrative. I completed this game, mate. I don't even know how many times I completed this game. I want a remake of this. I don't know how it would work with this style, but I would like an upscaled version of it graphically. I know I think they're doing Snake Eater, and I think they may have done Metal Gear.
I heard there was a new one in the works, but I don't know how true that is.
I've lost track of the whole franchise, mate. To be honest with you, I'm not going to lie.
Liam said it was either 5 or the zombie one that was the last one to come out. I think I don't remember the zombie one, but I'm pretty sure 5 was the last one I played. Because all I can remember is you could walk around and put a cardboard box over yourself to hide from people.
Yeah, that's the thing from this one, which you know, if we watch the whole thing, it would be a thing. Let's just skip it forward a bit. But they had the codex, you had these characters and stuff like that. And I don't know whether this will come across nowadays, but so there's a bit in this where basically you are being tortured, basically, and you have to bash the button as hard as you can to keep you alive, basically. I wonder if I can find it. There it is. There it is. There, I found it right there. That was good timing. You're basically being caught, and you're trying to stay alive. You're being electrocuted and everything. You got to bash it. I think it was circle. You got to bash the absolute shit out of it, mate. Absolute, and to stay alive. Or now, so this is one of those games where if you submitted, they would kill the woman you just saw on screen, Meryl.
Okay.
If you survived the torture, she would stay alive. But if you submitted, at the end of the game, you could then replay the game again, but you get Odacon's stealth suit. So you can then run around the game to look completely invisible to all the bad guys. If you stay alive and keep Meryl alive, who's almost like a love interest by the end of the game, you get a bandana that gives you unlimited ammo for the next playthrough. So depending on how you played it, so you have this, right? So you do all this, and obviously, mate, your muscles are going to tense up. If you had a DualShock controller, the game would then go to you, oh, let me do something for you. Hold the controller. The game, by the way, hold the controller to your arm, and the game would vibrate the controller and like loosen the muscles in your arm, and it genuinely worked, 100%. I stand by this to this day, right? And there's a bit earlier on in the game where you used to contact somebody, and your colonel goes, "I believe his frequency is on the back of the CD case." So you have to then turn the CD case around on the game, and is a screenshot of the number. It was self-aware. It was self-aware.
That's a bit of a thing, isn't it?
And then, it was self-aware, basically. In the last one, off the top of my head, I can remember, was basically there's a character called Psycho Mantis. Now, I wonder if I can find that while we're talking. Yes, I can. So I'll find.
Liam's just said Metal Gear Survive was the last game to come out. I don't remember that one, in fairness. I think 5 was the last one I had any vagueness remembering it. But I have noticed a bit of a theme with the games you're picking. Graphically, they are like nowhere near
what we were talking about.
The
games you picked were more current, so I thought I'd go retro, you know? So just try and give some balance to it. I am a bit older, obviously, as well. But this is Psycho Mantis, right? Now, if you didn't know this, and I don't know how we found this out, maybe a magazine, I have no idea. But if you had this is going to blow your mind now, because obviously we don't have this anymore, because you just attach your controller, don't you, via like a wireless thing or a Bluetooth thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, in order to beat Psycho Mantis, if you left it in controller port 1, he could guess your every move. So what you had to do was take your controller out of number 1 and put it into number 2. And then he couldn't guess your movements.
Okay.
How would you know to do that if you've never played the game before? I don't even know how we knew. Somehow somebody knew at school and we knew. I don't know how. And he even references it when you beat him. How did you... I couldn't read your mind. How did you do that? Oh, I see. You took it out of this one and put it in this one. So it's the most...
Who would have even thought to test that?
Exactly. It's something
like
completely random.
Who goes through their mind going, I can't defeat this person, so I know I'm going to take the controller out of slot 1 and put it in slot 2. That should confuse them.
Like I said, mate, a very
Do you know when did that game come out?
Oh God, 97, 98, something like that, probably. Without looking, I'm not 100% sure. PlayStation 1 or just PlayStation at the time. So I loved it, mate. It was a bloody great. I played the demo for it. So this is, and I got.
Did you have a demo disc?
I had a demo disc, mate.
Demo disc. I miss the demo disc.
I miss demo disc days, mate. I really do. But I played this
magazine to get the demo disc.
That's it. Got the demo on it, and there was some random games on there. But this was on there. So I've never heard of Metal Gear Solid. Now, of course, Metal Gear Solid's actually older than this game. It was actually in an NES series beforehand, okay. So it's even older than that, really. But I was over a mate's house, PlayStation, and like literally nobody could get through the level. I managed to complete the level. I loved the tactical sneaking around thing, because at the time I'd never played anything like this at all. Of course, I think following up with this, I would say probably Splinter Cell would be like a really good one to play if you like espionage games. So,
as you know, I am a big stealth person when playing games. I take the time to complete the level stealthily.
Ladies and gentlemen, listening, watching, he is talking absolutely. When it says stealth optional, he's like, "Let's go, minigun."
That's not true. Look, right? I will try the stealth option. If it doesn't work the first time, everyone is getting mowed down.
Yeah,
because that's the easier way of doing it.
What I know, technically it's your go next, but I think yours is worth talking about last.
Yeah,
because of what it is basically. So before we move, so this is my last pick basically. I forgot to open the video up, so that's a bit poo. But yeah, as you can probably tell, this is actually footage from the
GoldenEye.
This is GoldenEye.
Now, is this N64 footage or is this the new? No,
this is the new one, mate. This is the new what was released on Xbox and stuff like that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be fair.
That's it, Liam. You're right. Classic gamer move. If it doesn't work first time, go mow them all down. Yeah.
No, 100%. But again, obviously you're an N64 person. We already discussed.
I played this game, so when I had the N64, the games I can remember having, I had Mario, Super Mario, Mario Kart, this, and
Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart.
I had some game where I was a lizard.
Some game where you were a lizard?
A gecko or something.
I don't remember that one.
I'll see if I can remember what it's. Some gecko game.
I have no idea what that is. One of the most obscure games I played on it was a game called Buck Bumble. If you ever played that, had one of the greatest music intros ever. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
Gex 64. Enter the Gecko.
Enter the Gecko.
Yeah. Oh, I've just sending you the cover of the game.
What's it called?
Gex, GEX.
Yeah.
Oh, Enter the Gecko. Yeah. N64.
Gecko N64.
Super Mario. You're right, Liam. Super Mario was an epic game.
What is it? I know we're talking about, but yeah, GoldenEye, mate. Nobody choose Odd Job. Nobody choose that. Obviously as you do. 4-player, mate. This used to cause arguments in my house because you're looking at because it was split screen. It was 4 screens. Don't look at my screen. Don't look at my screen and all that.
Did anyone do that mission stealthily? Because I never. I always went around shooting them like that.
I actually managed to. Not now, I can't do it, but back then, up to a point, I could get there. Up until when you get through the second door at the end of the corridor, I ran out of bullets for them, but I could get through there quietly. I could get genuinely, I could get through there.
And did you hijack the tank on the runway level?
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah. Of course I did. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's weird playing it on Xbox controller though.
Oh no, you need the
doesn't
classic
feel right.
N64 controller. This is it.
I never played this.
This is the Gecko game. Don't ask me why I had it or where I got it from, but I remember playing this Gecko game.
It's it almost is like a Crash Bandicoot type game, I would say. To a degree.
It's real random. I remember having this, and then later on we got Donkey Kong. I think is it Donkey or Diddy Kong Racing or something like that?
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. Diddy Kong Racing was that a thing?
Is it Diddy Kong? I'm sure it was Diddy Kong.
Mate, I didn't play this. I think I've seen the because you sent me the picture. I think I've seen that logo before, or that the case.
Yeah.
Oh God, passwords! You have to remember passwords back in the day for because
this is it. I remember this. This was the loading bit where you had to go around.
It's got a very similar vibe to the Super Mario one.
Yes.
Where you have the 3D sort of rooms to go in and stuff. What the heck is going on here, mate? I have no idea what this is.
This is it. This is what it was.
Is this one of the bosses? Is it? What's this?
I'm trying to remember what you had to do on this. Oh yeah, that's it. You had to use your tail to fling the stuff back.
That's bloody insane. Ironically, I brought up an N64 thing, and I've literally want to talk about GoldenEye, and then we're literally
looking at some gecko batting things with its tail.
Mate, I love playing this. Nobody, every household have the same rule. Nobody's allowed to be odd job because basically, if you've never played it, ladies and gents, basically, odd job was too small to be auto aimed on. So, basically, it was what was going on there. But yeah, GoldenEye will always be one of my favorite games.
The best part about it was the pencil gun.
Oh, the golden gun.
No, the pencil gun.
Pencil gun?
Yeah, the pencil machine gun.
I have no idea what
load the footage back up. The pencil. How do you not remember the pencil gun?
Oh, do you mean the AK-47?
The one that looks like a pencil.
You mean this one, right?
This, a pencil gun. Look.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's a pencil.
That's the KF, like Soviet. It's a bit like an
that's a pencil. That guy is using a pencil. There is no way you will ever convince me that guy is not using a pencil.
No, it's a. It does look like a
that
pencil.
Is 100% a pencil.
I've never seen that before. That does look. I've never thought that before. You've ruined the game for me.
How could you not? Mate, that's the first thing I saw when I played this 30 years ago.
Oh,
that is
God.
the first thing I saw, and since then that is the pencil gun.
That is insane, mate. I have never once in my life gone, yeah, that's a pencil gun. I genuinely thought you meant the golden gun.
No,
but I
that's
see it now.
Pencil gun. This is a pencil.
It's not a fucking pencil, is it?
Look at it. It looks like a pencil. It is a pencil.
Oh dear. All right, man. Well, I think you might be right. Well, I think we.
Like, I understand it's the AK, but there's no way on this earth that you're not going to describe that to someone. If you're like, did you get the pencil gun? That's how you're going to describe that.
Oh, fucking hell. I mean, genuinely, I was like, pencil gun. Then when do you mean the AK-47? And then when I saw it, I'm thinking that's what he must mean. But obviously, no, I didn't know that was.
You'll never unsee that now. Every time you look
at
that gun,
I won't
it'll
anymore.
be the pencil gun.
You've ruined it for me. I mean, mate, it was cool to play it again. I the memories I have of it, my cousin coming over, 4 of us playing in, GoldenEye teams. But the advent. It's a shame that the new one they re-released isn't like online, because it'd be so cool to play that online with a few mates and just have a few. I know it might only be 4. It might be 4 of us. I don't care. To relive those days, but not in the same house, obviously, and you have your own screen. It would be cool that if they did that. Just a quick mention before we move on to yours. Perfect Dark was like the next sort of game, even though but it was using the same sort of engine and stuff, and it was a really great game. I don't know if you ever played Perfect Dark.
I didn't.
It's full. They re-released that on Xbox as well. There was a gun called the laptop gun on that, and you could use it as
like
a
machine
laptop gun. Well, yes, because you'd shoot it, but then you could throw it onto a wall and it'd become a sentry for you.
Oh, okay.
And but once it ran out of ammo, and it was one of the first games I ever played where it had simulants, what we used to call simulants or AI, so you could play by yourself against like easy, hard, medium type enemies and stuff. So, but
Okay.
mate, we got to talk about it. Your last game before we finish today's show. Like, you've ruined fucking GoldenEye for me now, you bitch. But yeah, it's not surprising that you've made this one of your favorite games. And I don't blame you, mate. I don't disagree with any of your picks, by the way. They are bloody great games. But obviously,
Red Dead 2, graphically stunning when it came out. Still, I think one of the best looking games today. I really do. And I know it's a Rockstar game. And obviously, they are known for producing good quality games, but just the detail. The problem is the footage that we're seeing now. We got up here. You cannot, unless you play the game, you cannot
best I
see
can get
it.
It's 1080, mate, and that's the way it's been captured by this person. So I can't do any better than that. But
that's the problem. It's like, honestly, I remember playing it and I thought, damn, this is a really good looking game.
I remember to this day you sending me a screenshot of mud with water in it, going, "Look how real that looks." To this day, you remember you sending me. I'm like, because there was no explanation of it. It's just a picture. I was like, "Why have you sent me this?" Oh, that looks good. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
of mud.
And the detail that Rockstar put into their games, the little details, right? Just fantastic. And
no, I agree.
If Red Dead 3 is anything like this, then yeah, brilliant. Like, hopefully, well, if you never know the way Rockstar release games, it could be 10 years down the line, so it might look like that. And
mate,
whatever game we was talking about earlier.
I wonder if they've restarted GTA 6 to put it in the Unreal 5 engine.
Oh,
can you imagine?
It wouldn't have done. It wouldn't surprise me.
Red Dead might be a thing, I tell you.
Liam's only played Red Dead 2 once, went online, got tied up and fed to some sort of app. Yeah, no. Yeah. That happened a lot in the
early days of
online. That did happen a lot online, and that frustrated people.
Well, chat, anybody in chat, have you played Red Dead as in the campaign? Like
the campaign, honestly, if you've never gone back and played the campaign, seriously, really do. Fantastic campaign.
Only just noticed this, Jack, as we're watching this footage, but Arthur. Now, obviously, I didn't realize this until I played it that your hair grows, your beard grows, you got to have a shave, got to shower, you got to not shower, bath and stuff.
Yeah.
But because I played it recently and I've completed it again, looking at Arthur now, this is early on in the game, obviously. Now, Arthur's not a young man, but he looks young as hell there.
Yeah, he ages.
So he ages through the game as well, which I didn't pick up on before.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
The game's based over a number of years, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So same as watching a TV show when you, like, say, Friends or Big Bang Theory or whatever TV show you want, and it starts and you watch it through all the way to season 10, and then you go back a couple of years later and watch it back from season 1. You go, bloody hell, look how young they look. Yeah. You don't notice it because you're watching them grow in front of you. So I didn't realize how young Arthur actually looks there. Yeah. Weirdly, that game just keeps coming. Oh, dude, Liam, if you haven't played the campaign mode, you've got to play it again.
Honestly, mate, it's absolute fantastic. The campaign, it's one of them campaigns that you just keep going back. You can keep going back and replaying.
You're breaking up. So say that again, mate. You broke up a bit there.
Oh, I said it's one of those campaigns that I just keep going back to every couple of years and replaying.
Yeah. No,
absolutely mate, fantastic.
This and GTA 5, in terms of modern day games, are probably the two of which that I've gone back to, more recent,
Yeah.
Or like Metal Gear Solid, I completed that game so many times. GTA 5 and Red Dead. In fairness, Red Dead I've only completed twice, mate. Yeah. But I've absolutely loved it. I technically... Actually, have I completed this time? No,
you're right there, Liam. Yes, he does get ill over the course of the game.
Because I thought you could stop that, but apparently you can't.
I don't think you can. Is it TB he gets?
It is, yeah. It's and it even boils down to, because my brother, I didn't even pick up on it. My brother mentioned it, but he said that it's the. I don't want to give it away too much if you haven't played it, but he does get ill. But it's over. It's actually a side mission that you do allegedly.
Yeah,
I say it's side mission, but you've kind of got to do it. So.
It's like one of those side missions that you have really got to do to progress.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's got a cracking story to it. Really has.
100%, I agree with that. 100%.
It's one of those games you can put hundreds of hours into and still not do it all. I can't recommend it enough. I'd say it's like one of my top 3 games.
I think I've got to agree with you on that one, mate. To be honest with you, I'm not. It's hard not to really. I mean, look at him there. Look, that's actually Marsden, but still, because eventually you end up playing as Marsden, don't you? So
yes, at the end, isn't it? Right at the
Liam. The most Red Dead I've played is the Nightmare.
Oh, I remember that. That was the DLC, wasn't it? The zombie DLC.
Is that online? Is it?
Yes, it was. It was for Red Dead 1, wasn't it? I believe. I could be wrong on that. But I thought that was a Red Dead 1 DLC, if I remember rightly. I didn't play a lot of it. But no, Red Dead 2, fantastic. Fantastic. And I look forward to the 3rd.
Yeah,
not that we're going to get it anytime soon because it's Rockstar.
Well, there you go, mate. That's pretty much it for this week's show, mate, to be fair. We just wanted to share a few of our favourite games. They're not necessarily our top 3. I mean, is there anything else you want to share before we...
Liam's right, said, yeah, it is a Red Dead 1 DLC. That's it, I thought it was.
Okay, because Red Dead 1 is actually a prequel. No.
It's no...
Red Dead is after 2 now,
It's after 2, yeah.
So
it's a Red Dead 2's the prequel.
There you go. There you go.
Red Dead 2 on sale. Is it Red Dead... I could be wrong here, but is it on the Game Pass?
Have a look, mate. I don't know. I really don't know. But it must be on sale though, surely. It's a bloody great game. If you haven't played it, you've got to give it a go, Liam. If you can pick it up on sale, definitely I would. That's a bloody bargain, mate, because it is. It feels like I would say it's definitely long. Is it longer than GTA 5? It's got.
Oh
be,
yeah,
right? Yeah. It's. Easily. There's so much stuff going on in it. I love the story. I loved it. It took a little bit for me to get into, but it is good.
It's 19. It's on sale on Steam at the moment. 67% off. 1979.
He's on Liam's on on PC Game Pass. So if it's on,
yeah, it's not on PC Game Pass. I just had a look, but it is on
Steam. Is it
on offer at the moment? 67% off. It's 1979 till the 12th of June.
There you go.
So if you do want to get it, it's well worth it. It's
mate for 19 quid if you've got the money.
Mate, for the 60 quid I paid for it when it come out,
I
would quite happily pay the 60 quid for it.
I don't resent paying the 60 quid though, because it's a bloody great game. Sometimes you do, but this I don't at all. There you go. Well, you can follow Jack on Twitter at JackV327. I assume that is the right one we've put there now. You can follow myself at BenNny Mac, obviously. We will be back for those people on SJP World Media who want to come by and watch the conferences with us, the Starfield one and the Xbox one, the Microsoft one.
Showcase.
The showcases. Next week we'll be live from 6 p.m. If not, for you audio people, we will speak to you again in 2 weeks' time, basically. So we're going to be every other Sunday for the podcast. But because, like I said at the top of the show, because there is this showcase going on, we want to watch it, don't we? And get into it and hopefully have good reactions. Hopefully have your reactions. Liam, thank you for joining in with us and chatting. Everybody else has been watching. Even if you didn't chat, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you to SJP World Media for letting us do it on here again. I appreciate it. Actually, mate, so much easier, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It hasn't cut out on us yet. Normally, by this point, it's cut out.
Yeah, but I put Gameplay J because I didn't want to put Junkies in because on Twitch it doesn't allow it, so I put J. But this is Gameplay Junkies. That's Jack somewhere over there. I am obviously, of course, BenNny Mac. Jack, we'll see you next week, mate, because we're going to be watching the showcase. Yes. But in terms of the podcast, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you. It's been a great show. I appreciate that, Liam. Hopefully join in. Let's share the show and join in. Let us know some of your... follow us. Actually, I want to put that up on screen now, what I remember. Follow the show here at Gameplay Junkies. I do try and keep up with it and try and post stuff. But if not, follow Jack or myself on Twitter as well. We, like you said, the Apple one's coming up soon as well. So
the Apple one's tomorrow night. So I know it's not gameplay, but I'm hoping to see what the new iOS. Hopefully we got some
I tell you what,
features on it.
We'll be live, like I said, next week. Again, it might not be on the podcast as such, but we'll be live maybe about 6:15 then. And anything that you want to talk about before it starts.
Anything interesting.
We'll just exactly. Hopefully you like the intros and the outros. The outro is about to come up now. Obviously, if you didn't see the intro, then go back and watch it. It took me a little bit of effort to make, but I appreciate it. Jack, this has been one of the funnest shows of the new series, to be fair, mate. You pointing out the pencil.
The pencil gun is going to be a classic moment.
That's going to be a TikTok freaking moment, I think, to be honest. Made me fucking laugh so much. But yeah, thank you to everybody at SGP World Media. This is Benny Mac. This is Jack, and we'll see you again very soon.